Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I created this look over on TikTok live. If you don't follow me there, you should if you want. I go live pretty often and I love talking to you guys and doing really fun makeup looks. You wanted a tutorial on that one, so here I am today. Let's get into it. First I'm going to prime my eyes using my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot and my M173 brush. Okay, time for color. Today I will be using the Makeup of Murder Neon Poison pigments. These are super fun to work with. They glow underneath a black light, and when you mix them with water or another mixing liquid, they turn into paint, which is really fun. And I'm actually giving away a full set of these, red to purple, when I hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. So go ahead, follow me over there, and you'll have a chance to win the giveaway. Today I will be mixing those pigments with water because I don't have another mixing liquid. I will be getting one in the future, but right now we are just using water. And I am using a bunch of little fine detailing brushes. If you don't have a full set of like 6, that is fine. You can really only use one because these are water activated. You can just clean your brushes in between each color with water, and it's super easy and super simple. Okay, so first what I did was I made a little dot with the pink where I wanted the swirl to begin, which is right in the middle of my eyelid. And I actually am going to transform that dot into a little bit of a U shape to just get an idea of where I want the swirl to go. And I will be swirling them in opposite directions. So this one will be swirling this way, and this one will be swirling this way. You don't want to go and just do a whole pink swirl and then do all the other colors. Well, I suppose you could do it that way, but this way is just easier for me personally because it will give you a much cleaner look following it around, and you'll see how I do it. But if another way works easier for you, then just go ahead and do that. This is just how I'm doing it. And now I'm going to go in with some orange. And I'm actually going to take it a little bit farther than the pink, if you'll see that. So we're gonna go back in with the pink and then follow it along. And you wanna try to keep them the same thickness too. Going back in with the orange. Do the same thing with the yellow. And then every time when you go a little bit farther out, you're making a new area for the next color. So green is going to go in here, and then we're going to further that out, and then blue will go into that pocket. If that makes sense. And then we're going to go back with the orange and the pink, and you're just going to keep adding the new color and then going back to the other colors and then following those around until you got a nice spiral. Now for the green, and I'm only adding a drop of water to the pigments. I keep them in these little ceramic dipping containers that I've borrowed from restaurants because it's just like easier to keep them in there. If you prefer something with like an airtight seal, then of course do that. This is just how I like to store them. It's probably not the most sanitary, but I'm the only one that will be using these. Okay, I just quickly redid them because I wasn't liking where they were going. Instead of going from the inside, I'm going from the outside now. This is just easier for me. And you do want to be careful that they don't mix together. So you want to make sure that they are dry in between. You also got to be careful with your eye movements because they are wet. You don't want to open and close your eyes too widely so the makeup doesn't transfer. Alright, time for blue. This eye's coming out so much better than the other one, but that's okay, you know, it happens. Alright, last but not least is purple. now that this first swirl is done, it will be very easy to just speed through the rest. So I will just go through the colors one last time, and then I will be back with the finished look for you guys. Alright, I think you get the idea. I'll be back with the finished look. Okay, I'm not completely done, but I wanted to come in before I finished up and talked about a few more things. One, your end color. That is important. As you can see, I stopped at purple right here, and that is fine, but I'm going to keep going because your end color is like your complementary color. It just complements the whole look and ties it all together. Now, in the picture that I showed you guys, my last color was yellow, so I'm going to be doing that again because yellow is just the brightest color out of all of them, and it'll really make the spiral pop. If you want to use a different color, you can, but I just wanted to come on there and just let you guys experiment and tell you guys about that, and that your end color is kind of important. Another thing, when you are finally done, you will notice that the pigments kind of look a little like there's too much product, I guess. I can't really explain that well, but you'll know what I mean when you see it. So to combat that, it is just excess product on top. It dries and just sits on top. So you're gonna just take a little brush. I like to use this super light fan brush and just fan away the excess. I would be doing this at the end, but just to show you guys, I'm doing it for you right now. And it will look a lot better after doing that. Just wanted to let you guys know. So I will be back for the face, not the finished look, but the face makeup. Alright, now let's move on to the face. First I'm going to prime using my Benefit Professional Primer. Now for foundation, I'm going in with my ColourPop No Filter Foundation Stick in the shade 07 Neutral. This is my everyday face routine. I only do foundation on the middle, I guess, part of my face. I don't put any on my forehead or on my chin area, just because I don't really need it in those places. I do have this pimple right here making an appearance, but it's just natural, you know. That's just part of your skin. I only really like to focus on the eyes anyway, and plus we're in the middle of a panoramic, so you aren't gonna see this part of someone's face really anyway. I blend it out with the same brush that I use to blend out my eye primer, and that is to just give like a rough blending and to really pack it into the crevices, like around my nose and under my eyes. And then I like to go in with my foundation brush, which is a M439 brush, and I just blend that in again to just give a nice seamless kind of airbrushed effect, I guess, to just make it look really natural. Now I'm going to set just underneath my eyes and on my nose with a E48 brush and my Maybelline Fit Me Translucent Pressed Powder. I only like to set underneath the eyes to prevent creasing, and on the nose too, because I like to contour my nose. So I want that to be blended out nice and seamlessly. Now to contour my nose, I like to make like a button-shaped nose. So to do that, I'm going to use a E62 brush and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in the shade Light Medium. So to do the button nose, I finally perfected my nose contour, which makes me very happy. I've been like trying to perfect it for a long time, but since I do it every day now, we got it under control. So I like to do some on the bottom to give the nose that like lifted up effect. Remember, shadows are used in contouring to get rid of something, to push it like away, basically push it back, like it doesn't exist. There we go. That's why you contour underneath the cheekbones, to like get rid of that area, to just make it look nice and lifted. And now I do some on the top where my button nose would be, and lightly, very lightly at first, do nice rainbow arch-shaped blending strokes, and then I make it like a whole circle, pretty much, pushing that up where it needs to be pushed up. And there we go. Now it looks like I have a little bit of a button nose. And then I go down the sides very lightly, and I use like the side and the tip of this brush just right over here to do that. And I do want to make sure I push it up in this area because sometimes there'll be a little bit of a disconnect. When I first started contouring my nose, I would go directly on the sides of my nose, and I was still not getting that like pushed in smidgen little fairy button nose that I wanted. So then I realized that instead of going on the actual sides, you go actually on the top, but just on the edges of the top, where it's almost the side of your nose, but it's not, if that makes sense. Now for blush, I'm going to use my Morphe 405 brush and my ColourPop Super Shock blush in the shade Holiday. I like to put my blush up here, I don't know if you would classify this as your temples, but just right next to my eye and right underneath it as well, pretty higher than like a normal blush placement, just because that also helps give the illusion of like contour and lift cheekbones. And then I add a little bit under my nose, and then a little bit on the bridge, way less than anywhere else on my face, just like a dash of color. Now for highlighting, I think I'm going to keep the theme of purple and use a purple highlighter. I don't have a purple highlighter per se, but using the 35i Icy Fantasy palette by Morphe, I love this palette for its shimmers. I'm going to use, I don't have paper with me to name the shades, but this shade right here is a beautiful, beautiful blue to purple iridescent. Look at how beautiful that is. So this shade, I love this shade, and we are also going to use the shade next to it, which is just like a basic white shimmer shade. And then the shade up here is a super nice purple to white shade. Nice white base with purple reflex. I hope you can see that well. But we're going to mix all three of these beautiful colors together into one luxurious shade. Just going to give you a little zoom in action there, so you can really see how beautiful these are. So for the for applying any shimmer shade, your pressure is the most important aspect. Okay. You don't want to, if you're doing it on your eyelid, you don't want to push so hard and drag it, so where you see you're dragging the skin, but you do want to push down hard enough for the color to show up, better than it would if you weren't pressing down so much. So I'm going to use this green shade as an example. See, both of my fingers have the shade packed on about the same, but I'm going to take them both on the back of my hand now and show you guys the difference that pressure can make. So let's say this is your eyelid, and you just take that and put it on, it's nice, you know, you can see it. But then if you push down a little harder, but don't really like drag the skin, you get a much better payoff. I don't even know if you can see that, but if you can see the difference for sure. Same goes for inner corner or for highlighting your cheeks. For the inner corner, I like, instead of just to like drag it and that's it, I like to put it in the inner corner and then like move the skin around so the pigment really absorbs the oils in my skin and just leaves the nice shiny glow that we want. So do that here. Like first I drag it a little bit and then I just go in like a circular motion, and that just really does it. For the face, I'm just going to use a little brush. I'm not going to do all of that for the face, because these are still super shiny and super pigmented. Now just a little bit on the nose. Alright, I'm going to apply some lashes, and I have these cute little rhinestones that I like to wear underneath my eyes, just like one in the middle of each eye. I think that that is really fun. So, I think like you can really use any color. I usually go with the light green because that goes with like any look. But today I might do dark green. Actually, I'm gonna do purple. We're gonna do dark purple today. I just love adding these. They're just like a super simple, fun addition to your makeup looks. And I'm going to add some lashes and some lip gloss. I'll be right back. Here's the finished look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Press that little bell icon so you never miss out when I upload, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!